Alright, so hey everybody, LiamDoesGame here, and welcome to a loot guide in the Irish map. So, first of all, starting off, Fort AILEEN. Fort AILEEN is a safe zone with probably NPCs in the future. If you go there, everybody's just telling you the same thing, so obviously there's no NPCs till now. Moving on, now we go to MONEYPOINT power plant. Now, a MONEYPOINT power plant is basically a military zone. It is the most, place that I would recommend to go. That's why I started with it. Now, this place offers Irish military clothing, AUGWEHRS, AVENGERS, all kinds of attachments, Vipers, low caliber civilian ammunition, chemicals, medical items, biohazard clothing, crafting materials, Timberwolves, Desert Falcon, daggers, low caliber military ammunition, Spec Ops clothing, military drums, peacemakers, raw explosives, flashbangs, sticky grenades, detonators, LE specs, claymores, and obviously food. Now, this place is pretty big. It is a military zone. And as you may see, it is quite a big place. I would really recommend to go there. If the spawns would be, for example, random, which is probably where it'll be, and I spawn there, I'm going to be happy. I can assure you that. So yeah, moving on. Now we have Dingle Camp. Now, Dingle Camp is basically just a normal campground. It offers bows, food, MASTERKEYS, SCOFIELDS, melee weapons, and crafting materials, and low caliber civilian ammunition. Moving on, TRALEE and CORK. TRALEE and CORK are basically towns, but these both offer GASMASKS, crafting materials, food, and clothing. Obviously, these are just normal towns, with the exception of there's a fire station, which you could obviously find GASMASKS. Now, moving on, we have LIMERICK, which is basically a normal town, which offers food, crafting materials, clothing, all of that normal stuff. Now, I'm going to be talking about all of the farms that there is, and there is Newmarket's Farmstead, Butterwand Farm, Gregor's Farm, Woodrow Farm, and Clackham Homestead, and Abercombe Wind Farm. Now, these farms basically are just normal farms. We have farming supplies, chainsaws, low caliber weapons, Schofield, MASTERKEYS, etc. Melee, for example, like pitchforks, bows, food, and clothing. Now, moving on, we have our Lord's Asylum. Now, in the Asylum, we find Asylum clothing, which is new clothing, and food, melee, medication, and crafting supplies. Now, I really like this place. It's actually really cool. I just want to point that out, okay? It's actually a really cool place. It seems literally like an asylum. So moving on, we have Lad's Brewery, and in this place we can find a cement truck. Now, I don't know if a cement truck has already been published. I think I remember it from like Hawaii NPCs or something like that. Basically, Lad's Brewery is I just wanted to point out that there's a cement truck spawning there, and then we can find clothing and crafting materials. Moving on to Rock of Cashel. Rock of Cashel offers IFR recruit clothing, which is new clothing. It is the same as Asylum clothing. It's actually pretty cool, and we can find a SNAYPERSKYA and OREL. Probably everything that I'm saying is probably there's going to be much more, but I went on every place with like the highest loot chance, and this is what I kept finding over and over. But the thing about Rock of Cashel is it's such a dead spawn. It's dead spawn. Like, you barely find any items. So just wanted to point that out. Now we have ATHLONE, which is basically a town supply. We can find, but the thing is, there is a military spawn. We can find EAGLEFIRES, raw explosives, WEZEL, and Irish military clothing, peacemakers, and there's a mechanic store as well. Now moving on to Fort Dunree. Fort Dunree is another military spawn. We can find Irish private lieutenant or major clothing. Now in Ireland, there's going to be different ranks for clothing. Obviously, I think they vary when it comes to size, but maybe not. But there's different ranks for when it comes to clothing. You can find Avengers, Peacemaker, medical supplies, dagger, and low caliber military ammunition. HS Scale is a safe zone, so obviously there might be NPCs coming into the future. Now moving on to Belfast. Belfast is basically a town with 4 military spawns by the beach. You'll see like 4 like boats or whatever the hell they are. I think they were used in like a world war or something. And you could find military spawns. You could find desert eagles, all military knives, military clothing, all of that kind of stuff. Now the final place that I'm going to be talking about is Abraham Anti-Airline. Now Abraham Anti-Airline is another military spawn. The thing is, you need to swim there, but you don't need the heli. You could just swim there. There is a ladder going up, and you could find EAGLEFIRES, Vipers, Spec Ops clothing, Desert Falcons, Peacemakers, grenades, Irish military clothing, low caliber military ammunition, WEZEL, Timberwolves, high caliber military attachments, elite specs, and AUGWEHRS. Now, that is basically it. Now, the thing is, there are some unmarked locations, and in these unmarked locations, for example, next to Dingle Camp, and there's like 2 headlands. Basically, there's just one of them. There is a lighthouse. It's just normal civilian items, and there is a bunch of other places. If you want, I could do a video about that, where basically we go and explore them together. Maybe explore some other things into the map. If you want to, obviously, if you can't be bothered, just let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, I would really appreciate if you guys subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.